I dropped it off for a leak, and you did a lot more. Free car storage, and a bunch of added value.
For how long?
2 years and a few months. But I'm not counting, I'm not counting.
Sounds so nice. Brian, your van's done.
Van's done.
We're about to look at another car that's done. What's happening? Stop this. I feel like something bad's gonna happen now that you're finishing cars.
Don't put that juju on me.
No, I'm not saying to you.
First off,
I'm saying in the
to the world. To the world.
Yeah.
Like this is why we have global boiling is because I'm finishing my cars and I need to stop.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are here at BBI. My 911 is finally finished. I'll get out and tell kind of a little backstory on how it got here and how long it's been here and why. All right, so remember like back when like we all like had to like stay in our houses because there was like a lockdown, pandemic and everything? Okay, well during that period of time, I noticed on a drive, actually it was when we finished Nad's Civic. We went out, we did a canyon run, and on the way home, like something just felt off. And I had noticed the power was down a little bit on a few other things I'd done with the car. And I was like, power feels down, but it feels really, really low. And then we had a little spirited drag race at one point with this guy, and he was driving his FDRX7, and
which was stock at the time.
And I couldn't leave him. And I know that my car was faster than that. So I was like, all right, something seems off. And I start looking, and I'm realizing like I'm not building more than 0.7 bar, and I should be at like 1.2, maybe even 1.3. So I check everything. I don't see anything that seems like it would be a leak. So I bring it to my good friends at BBI, and BBI has done most of the work on the 911, which is the joke. The joke is like why the 911 is the car that always runs, because they did everything from the exhaust on here to just a bunch of other like weird maintenance stuff over the years, right? And like the car is other than it being, you know, RWB and, you know, sitting on coils.
You're not gonna call it simple. You're not about to call it simple.
It's kind of a stockish car.
You're joking, right?
It's not that crazy.
But it had a crazy factory engine package to it. It had an exhaust on. We sawed that transmission tunnel out to put a crazy shifter in there.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Brian got the 911. He got the 964. And at the time, we were trying to convince him to get an Evo. Different story. But he brings it to his garage in Astoria and immediately takes a saw to the transmission tunnel. A whole saw to put like some crazy German shifter in. That I don't even remember.
Back then it was like a $30,000 Super Beetle. I didn't know. Anyway, I bring it in. I'm like, hey, but Tim, can you figure out what this leak is? Like, can you put one of the smoke machines on it, see where it's leaking from? And he's like, oh yeah, it looks like it's a valve cover, which means it's engine out. And I was like, okay, cool. He's like, look, I can't get to it right now, but like, you know, I'll get to it in a few weeks. Do you want to come pick the car back up? And I was like, yeah, no, you know, I'll just leave it there. It's fine. Then we started a project called the Hoonigan, and this thing got parked for about 2 years. But Tim just finished it back up because, as you noticed, Hoonigan went up the pikes, Hoonigan's back running and everything. So here it is. So good to have it back. But also, it has a little bit of a change to it. I dropped it off for a leak, and you did a lot more.
Hey, you're a good pal, I gotta say. You know, drop it off for a little bit of simple maintenance.
Free car storage, and a bunch of added value.
For how long?
2 years and a few months. But I'm not counting. I wasn't gonna call you out
16
like that.
days.
Yeah, and so you did a bunch of engine stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into all that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be faster.
Yeah.
It's gonna rev better. It's gonna have a different power band. Reliability, which I'm not a big fan of reliability, but whatever, it's cool you added that.
Who the hell is this guy?
If I wanted reliability, I'd buy a Toyota, but whatever, that's cool. But then you also did a bunch of suspension stuff that I actually didn't even know he was doing, and one of those things meant that we had to change the wheels.
Yeah.
Because
we changed the front geometry, pushed everything out too far, trying to reduce the front scrub radius, and we had to swap the wheels. And the car's a little higher than it normally is right now. There's like a track setup. So
yeah, that's the #1 excuse for ride heights. That's how I've been justifying my ride height for decades.
Which means I don't bring it to the track in the next 2 weeks. I have to lower it.
It's gonna come back true.
Here. Yeah. So that's how that.
So we're gonna be lowering it.
Yeah. So I guess this is like where we like show you guys the wheels. So they're different than the original wheels, and it's actually one of my favorite wheel brands that I loved in the 90s. So I'm really stoked that they're on the car, but I still need to get used to the color. Kinesis K10s. You gotta understand, Kinesis is a wheel that I've loved since I first got into cars. I always wanted a set of Kinesis on my Mark III. Couldn't afford them back in the day, so when I got a chance, I slapped a set on my RS2 Avant, which is actually pretty much the same colorway. And so when the Kinesis guys built these for the RWB, they said they wanted to do something different. They said, trust us. So they actually hit me with the matching color for the RS2. And I'm already excited about going and taking photos of those two vehicles together. But I gotta admit, I might miss the red a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, this looks really good. Like traditional white gold centers, polished wheels. That's super motorsport.
It is very classic.
That's like super classic motorsport.
And I think that's why it rubs me
because this car was.
Because I always build shit that tries to look different. I'm not a big fan of change, so this is hard for me. Work with me on this.
That's so not true, by the way.
What?
You're a huge fan of chaotic change.
No, I'm a change agent. But like, there's some things that I need. Like, I need things like this stable. I need a constant in my life, so that everything else can be chaos. Yeah. So this was my security blanket, if I'm being honest. So
I'm just happy to see this thing.
I'm just stoked to see this thing back. Comment below. You like this new setup? I know a lot of you in the past have been like, hey, change the wheels out, try to do something different, or do you think I should paint these red? I think no matter what, I'm staying with the K10s for now. I might try another Kinesis in the future, but right now I think I'll stay with this wheel, but you know, maybe they go red. Hey, but Tim, where'd you go? You gotta tell us what else we did here. Oh, yeah, what else would we do?
Let's rack it up.
Okay.
I'll show you.
All right, so obviously you fixed the one thing it came in for, which is the boost leak, but then you went to town. What's everything else? Like, walk me through everything, because I actually don't know, because this is one of those weird, like, but Tim, trust you menus. We talked a lot about the Hoonigan, and in the background, this was just here. So let's start here.
We started with a boost leak, and then it was almost like pulling the string on the sweater, where we got to check this out. So let's pull the valve covers off. Oh, there's a broken head stud. Let's actually get rid of those head studs and replace them with all 993 head studs from the turbo car. Oh, well, while we're there, we got to probably look at the pistons and cylinders. And, oh, well, we should probably rebuild the heads because they're off. And then we should probably put better valve springs in them. And then, well, if the cams are out, let's do better rockers, shafts, and camshafts. So it was like one of those.
You think I'm bad at scope creep? Oh my goodness, this is like next level.
Yeah, we went from boost creep to scope creep real quick. So
there's no limits. I can no limits, none.
But yeah, now you have a fresh 3.3 in there with bigger cams, worked overheads, nice valve springs, a bunch of other things. I don't even remember, but there's a lot. I think we might have rebuilt the turbo. I don't know.
How do you not know?
Just say you did it.
Yeah, we did it.
There you go.
Try to make things pretty. Jeremy and the team kind of went through everything. We replaced every single fuel line going across the backside of the engine, every vacuum line, because they were all starting to kind of get checked and aged a little bit. And then sent half of the it sucks right now, you can't see it, but we sent like half of the hardware out of this car out to get it re-zinc, but you can't tell because it's
all hidden now.
It's all hidden now, but really tried to touch everything, even down to the fuel block. Had that new gasket in there, and all the lines have been redone. The injectors were cleaned. And
here's a weird one. Did you guys recharge the AC?
Yeah.
Oh, because the AC's never worked on this. So you say the AC works now?
I don't know, but I know it's got recharged.
Does the air conditioning work? Anyone? Yeah. It does?
I just said that. I don't know.
We'll try it today because I've never actually had AC that works in this thing.
Yeah. But then so we're under the car. I'm like, all right, Brian. Well, we got you an engine running well, so now suspension was horrible. Good shocks and springs on it, but the bushings were all whack, and the front geometry is all over the place because these cars have a little bit more scrub radius in the front because it's a wider car, so the offsets of the wheels you get just a lot more scrub radius. So the other part is when you're lowered these things so far, control arm angle's messed up, geometry is messed up. So we have a billet upright solution for that. So
all right, let's look at it.
All right.
Put it up.
You done talking?
Went through.
Yeah, stuff looks like nice and clean back here.
Yeah,
all the hardware is all new.
And you notice it's not leaking. That's weird.
It was just dripping a little bit.
It
wasn't too
bad. Just a
bad.
little bit of sweat. But yeah, we still have the tile wastegate that we put in here. Should be running between a bar and 1.1 bar. Could do more, so when the car comes back, we could tweak it a little bit more. We dynoed it after, put it all back together. It's making just shy of 400 wheel, which I think is about 90.
This is the same setup that we put in years ago.
Yep.
So actually the first mod, other than obviously the RWB like aesthetic and suspension that I ever did to the car, the first like performance mod was coming here and making this thing sound awesome.
Yeah.
Which was like back in the day now. It's like 2011
That
maybe?
was back in the day. Yeah, we built this exhaust back then, and then we just went through it and just re-ceramic coated it and
Oh, nice.
made it look pretty. And obviously, like replacing all the hardware, checking everything out. But the big thing was the rear control arms are where you could take the wheel and just move them because these bushings were smoked and this ball joint was messed up. So we put spherical bearings in here with a different camber plate in from ERP. Big old cartridge bearings up there that are all solid mounted as well. And then up front is the fun stuff. So I don't know if you can see that, but that's the sexy billet front knuckle up there.
Can't see shit.
What we're able to do here is lower the damper down and raise the spindle up, the bearing cartridge up, so it corrects all the geometry relative to the lower pickup points. Makes the car drive a lot better, and you're not bottoming your damper out anymore. So when we lower the damper down and raise the bearing up, you get about 2 more inches of damper throw, so you're not buried anymore. So you're actually up in the operating range, like right in the middle of it. And then press out the rubber bushings, put spherical balls here and there from ERP as well, and then just kind of set the whole car up. New outer.
And this had already gone, because you can see it actually says on there Scotto RWB 965, because they already custom built those last time the car was here, like 4 years ago,
right.
Because I was riding on the bump stops because it was so low.
So corrected that by shortening the body. And then now that we've dropped it down even further, you're in the middle of the operating range now.
Nice. I mean, so you mean it might actually handle like a 911
no, it
instead of a shopping cart?
It handles actually really, really well. And it's the cool part is that like Bobby drove it after we started shaking it down. He's like, yeah, you can actually hammer train tracks now and pop whatever. And
Well,
you
that's
can actually
because it's not low enough.
Well, now it's we have it up because we wanted to go take it to the track.
Yeah,
so got the wheels from Kinesis here because we needed a track set, and we got wrapped in the Toyota R888Rs. So the car is a little higher than we like it, but
I'll drive it for a little bit, make some decisions. I mean, I'm old now, so like, you know, I'm a dad. This might be the more responsible level, but then I'll stare at it for a few minutes and I'll take a photo of it.
Yeah, Brian,
and then we'll slam it.
Brian's gonna get in. He's like, man, this is comfortable and practical. I kind of like it, but I don't like the way it looks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's fuck it up again.
Yeah, exactly. After all that. So talk about just sort of like how much different will this feel than what it was when I brought it in?
We did a pretty stock rebuild. We just tried to get all the reliability up. But while we were there, your old cams had some pitting, and the old rockers looked like they had some pitting. So that's the time. The old trick in the book for the CIS turbo cars is to put what's called the SC cam in it. So it's out of the 3-liter SC. It's got a little bit more lift, a little more duration, but it's still idles. You get a little bit better boost response and better top end. So you don't get that fall off at about 5,000. We carry it to about 6 now. It was good for probably 20 or 30 horsepower actually. So at the same boost level.
What is boost level now on this thing?
I think 1 bar. But I wanted to put the 1.2 spring in there. Bobby, did we put a
1.2
spring?
It was a 1.2 previously, I think. Yeah.
1.2? Is that what it's making?
It boosts.
It boosts.
Yeah.
No, it boosts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So.
Boost you running.
Oh, it boosts. Oh, it boosts.
Okay, it makes more boost than him getting smoked by the FD. So
yeah.
Hey, I did some mods to the FD, so let's go.
Bring it, son.
You wanna go? You wanna go?
It's funny because the race I want now is versus Vinny's GT3, because Vinny smoked me in the 360.
yeah, I don't.
What do you think?
I don't know, man. Those GT3s are quick.
They are.
They're just quick.
They're just quick. It was
quick.
It didn't make sense because mathematically it shouldn't have been that much faster than the 360, but it was.
So let's think about that. His car probably puts down on the same dyno you did.
Oh yeah, what was dyno on this?
Close to 400 wheel, close to 400 torque. So for example, we did a stock 89 930 that made 320 to the tire. That's with the warmed up turbo. And then we did another one with a G35 on it, running about the same boost, but these are all with stock cams. That made 355, and then your car was like 390 something. So it's getting there, and I think fueling will allow maybe another 50 horsepower, but maybe we got to go to 1.3. I know the bottom end will take it, so.
Well, no. Now I know it. The next thing is you just need Motec. The next thing is always just.
That's what we were gonna do.
I know. I told him to push pause because I had too many cars that need laptops.
I'm really happy.
And I just want one car that doesn't require a laptop.
I'm really happy you did that because it's fun to drive.
Yeah, no, like there's just like start it, I warm up for a minute, I drive it, I bring it home. Great. That's why it was my favorite car. Hopefully it'll be that again.
Let's go drive it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds so nice. some like German man ripping cigarettes, reminiscing about the old days, being like, yeah,
It's pretty much defining me, except I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck.